Welcome to SEO Time Machines, the world's first operating system for your browser. I'm Dimitri, the creator, and today I'd like to show you OmniNotes. OmniNotes is a full-featured app that has rich text markdown, HTML, Kanban boards, wiki links, and 6 different export formats, as well as being a converter for all of your text. So you can view your notes in rich text, HTML, or Markdown, all in the one spot without having to copy paste things from one tab to another and then going back. So let me show you how it works. The very first thing that you want to do is you want to set a shortcut. So press S for settings or just click up here and look for OmniNotes or notes. And the first thing that you want to do is create a shortcut. Now you can launch it via the quick launch toolbar, but because I use this all the time, I like to have the shortcut. I use Control Option Command, so all the bottom left keys with N for notes. Obviously, you can do anything, but make sure that it doesn't conflict with any other shortcuts in the extension, and our extension will detect if you have other shortcuts activated and it will block it. So it will let you know if you're trying to set the same shortcut. So once it's launched, it launches like this. Now be aware that because this is a special window that's dependent on the Chrome extension itself, if you're writing anything here and you refresh the Chrome extension, which you have to do sometimes, this will go away, but it remembers everything as it goes. So everything is saved as you go. So you shouldn't lose anything. Just be aware that you have to launch it again. So what do we have? We have a full featured writing app where you can reset all your columns. You can have unlimited folders. You can have unlimited tags. So you can tag anything. By default, everything goes into the inbox. So kind of, if you like that way of organization, you can do that, so everything drops in inbox first. There is a option for you to give it a default tag of something else, so you can give it another tag if you like. We do have max image width, so anything that you paste into the notes, there is a 5 megabyte limit on notes. So if you need images to be full fidelity, then obviously have them as anything that you like, or custom note or original size, but 1200 is usually plenty. You can even drop it down to less if you just want the image as a reference size. So add this here. These are kind of pretty self-explanatory. Link previews is if you're dropping a YouTube URL into the note, what it does is it creates a it creates a preview like that. So it has the link to the video plus a YouTube thumbnail preview. I like doing this because if I have lots of notes on a Kanban, I'm studying something, one of those can be for studies, and I like to have the preview of the video. If you don't want that, then obviously turn it off. So that is pretty much all the settings. We can also export notes and we can have certain tags hidden. So if somehow a tag sneaks in there and you want to delete it, you can just add it to the delete tag and it will go away forever. But you can also restore it, as you just saw. So we can add different folders, we can add different tags, we can rearrange, we can sort by newest, oldest, you can view as Kanban or normal note. Now this is where the unique feature of SEO Time Machines comes in. There's actually many, and I've tried to make it as quick as possible for writers to get content on a page. So let me just get some content to show you. So I got that content from the slide. As you can see here, it's all marked up. This is your normal, this is your H2. Now, normally with lots of apps, you see that there's quite a lot of finger gymnastics to get the right heading size. I've just made the command the shortcut for this. So command 1 gives you an H1, H2, H3, H4. You can very quickly just switch sides, which is not something that you can do normally in any other tools or many other tools. We do also have a full featured table section, so you can drop the tables, add them in there. You can select, you can delete rows, delete columns. You can do anything that you can with the table. So that works. Obviously we have light mode and dark mode as well, so you don't have to have this view all the time if you don't like it. We do have zoom views where just the preview is zooming, not the actual text changing size itself. So if you want to see a little bit bigger, you can do that here. By the way, everything has a shortcut. So here's a full list of shortcuts with everything that we can do. So everything where possible is keyboard first. There is emit available themes as well. So if you're looking at HTML and you want a different kind of theme, you can factor that here. Now, I don't know if you saw this here, but just by clicking through the different tabs, what we're actually doing is converting on the spot as well. So even though this is rich text to start with, as soon as you go here, it becomes Markdown. As soon as you go here, it becomes HTML. So no more switching from converter to converter, everything is done in line. So everything is done right here. Now this is the notes version. If you press Command Shift and K, we can also see the Kanban version. So if you like to, like me, I like to organize everything in Kanban primarily. You can always click it and view the note quickly this way, or open Full Editor that way. So you have all the options. Everything is keyboard accessible first. So you can make as many boards as you want, obviously, as many lanes as you need. There is a function where you can lock a lane, and what that means is there is a function to compress these lanes so they become visually smaller. You can imagine if you have 20 lanes in a row and you don't want to be scrolling to the side. So if you lock the lane, here we have a expand all and collapse all version, which will collapse everything except the lanes that you've loaded. So if we want just those, just the one locked, we can do that. Or if we want both locked, you can just click it like this and then both become locked. So that's just a little bit of a ease of life tool there. Now, obviously, we can move one to the other to the other. We can also rearrange the board, so anything that you want can be quickly set up exactly how you want it. Each note can be given a board directly from here. So you can put it in any lane that you like. You can give it any tag that you like. There's also a set due date feature. So if you want to give it a due date, it will give you a reminder via our reminder feature. And there's also a coloring system. So if you want to color your notes, you can do that. When you, let's say if you're working on a note and you want to see it full view, there is a focus view that we can have here. There's a shortcut for that as well, but I just wanted to show you where that is. So if you really just want to zone in and start writing, there is a sentence view. So it'll focus on the sentence that you're at. There is also a paragraph view and a typewriter where if you have, attention issues, then that typewriter will keep you centered on exactly where your writer is. You can also choose the background color. So if you want everything to be dark and look, as one big focus screen, or you can just choose your lane here. And in the options or the settings that you saw before, this is where this width comes in. So if you want the editor to be wider or smaller, you can choose that there. That is what you use this setting for the focus mode. So if you want it to be a little bit wider, you can use the shortcut, or you can use this, and you can view it kind of how you would view it on a regular website. So all of that can be done here. We also have unlimited number of tabs up here. So each one is unique to itself. So you can see these have a certain number of Kanban boards and notes. So you can have a tab with a completely unique set of parameters. So if you can arrange these per client, or if you want to research something, you can have your research lanes. If you want to have a client and use this as an organizational board, you can do it that way as well. Besides the Kanban board, we also have a wiki links view. So if you have links inside the page, this will show you what's linked to where. So you can see, for example, these two are linked. So video research, I haven't done many because I just don't use it that way. But if that's something that you do, then you can. In order to link something, you have to press the two brackets like this. Actually, the first thing I need is a second note. So let me just type note 1, and we can create, by the way, everything has a shortcut. So if you want to create a new one, Control Shift and N, you can create another one, note 2. Now, when we're typing in here, actually, you may have to refresh the page for this to work. If something's not working, just refresh the page, because it's not actively refreshed, so it needs to get the new state of things. So when you double press the two square brackets, it will give you an option. You can then click, click the note. Sometimes when I'm recording using Loom, this causes issues. So if you don't see something working here, it does work in real life. So there you go, press enter, that'll give you the note. If there's more notes, you can scroll up and down for you to choose. So now what happens is when you refresh, you're going to see that this points you to the second, to note number 2. And when you use control and click, it'll take you to that note. So if I type something, you can see also the link mentions kind of like a backlink index. You can see which notes reference this note, and therefore giving you kind of like an index of what's connected where. So there's lots of other options in this section here. Because the shortcuts don't work in this particular view, none of your normal shortcuts work, like the text expanders and manipulations doesn't work here. So I've given you the same options as a button. So if you want to make something lowercase, highlight it, lowercase. Obviously, you've got unlimited undos, so you can use all of these. You can remove citations, you can remove duplicate lines, you can remove empty lines. You've got all of these. You can trim page. Once you're finished, if you press copy clean HTML, what it will do is it will take everything as clean HTML, or you can copy it as clean rich text. That will take off any, if there's any weird formatting that you've imported, it will take any of that away as well. Here we also have a find and replace function. So this works with regex as well. So you can find and replace not one by one, but in one go throughout the whole item. We also have a prefix and suffix. So this works on a per line basis. So if you're doing local SEO and you have a list of suburbs and you want to put, office cleaning in front of it, you can put office cleaning like this as a prefix. So let me just give you an example. So let's say we have Sydney and Melbourne, and we want to make them up a sentence case, and then we want to prefix them. You can put office cleaning space apply, and that will apply it like that. So it's a text manipulator, a text converter, a Kanban board. It's got notifications. You can choose, you can move notes from profile to profile. So these up here are profiles. Once you're in there, you can move them from folder to folder. You can also convert a note to a snippet. If you know, we have the snippet feature in using the quick launch toolbar. So if you've written something, whether it's an email signature or some kind of template, or anything that you want to reuse, if you want to make it into a text snippet, you can convert it to a snippet right here. You can also favorite notes. So when you favorite them, they'll be in your favorite notes over here. So you can do that as well. And I've shown you before, but that is the Wiki-links graph view if you want to see what's clustered together, etc. So one thing I recommend is in between, if we're doing any major updates or just periodically, I recommend that you save your notes. And we have two versions. You can save them using, so if you do export all profiles, it will export all the profiles and all the notes as they are with all the tags and everything. It does it as a JSON file, so they're quite easy to load and unload. And if you want to export all notes as if you click export all notes here, it will export them on a per profile basis. So whatever is in your current profile is what this will be. One final thing to note is that, and this is something I haven't seen in any other note app as well. Let's say you have a folder with a lot of different files and you just want to be able to quickly read them. If they were Markdown and HTML and rich text, you would need a different app for each. With us, all you have to do is just drop the folder in here, and whatever your current folder structure is will become the folder structure over here as well. So however your folders are nested in the folder that you're dragging, they'll get nested the same way. And obviously, because we have the converter, you're going to be able to see all of the different formats from the one spot. So whether you just want to get organized or you just want to preview something, you can do that from here. One final thing is that if you want to preview an HTML file, you no longer have to open up VS Code or browser or anything like that. I'll show you how that works in a moment. Let me give you an example of the folder structure here. Here's all my notes from my current project. If I get the talking points and just drop them in here, you see you're going to get a lot of options on how to do it, whether to do it at the root level, the subfolder level. I'm not going to import it now, but that's just so you can get an idea. And if you want to preview let's say a file like this one, you will actually automatically get the preview of the page. So you no longer have to get a different editor basically, and you can also edit the page directly here. So you can edit the page and preview it. Now, previously it was pretty difficult to do that. You always have to get some kind of either previewer, but obviously you can do it directly here. And if you have some code and you need to wrap it in HTML, let me just show you. There is a function here that's called HTML wrap. So sometimes you just need the header and the footer in order to preview the code. So if you press HTML wrap, let me just put something in here. If you press HTML wrap, it will give you the actual header and footer top and bottom, just to give you a regular page so that you can preview whatever code that you had. So always making tweaks, always making updates to make this easier. I use this for all of my note writing, project optimization. Don't have to pay for anything ongoing, and if everything is private. So because it is private, there is no like login. You can't access these notes from another computer. So just bear that in mind. This is for this browser only. And very important, if you ever refresh your cache, because this is using local storage, if you ever clear your local storage, all your notes will be gone. Well, at least from here. They obviously exist somewhere if you've saved them. but they don't auto update. So if you save it here, we do have a version where we auto update it, but these are stored in local storage only because of Google security kind of implementation. We can save notes here, but essentially it gets re-downloaded. It is not the same as having an operating, like having Word and then saving a note and it's saving it on your hard drive. So just be aware of that. It's very, very important that if you do anything major like clearing your whole computer, you take a backup. Make sure that you always take a backup of all your notes if you're ever going to clear local storage. I don't want to see you, put in all this work, do all this stuff, and then lose everything because you didn't realize this was all browser based. This is another security feature where we've sandboxed everything that we do within the browser and it doesn't leak into your computer per se. So if you ever just want to have a profile that is purely browser based, you have a like a work profile that doesn't save anything on your local computer, then you can use this system and this note system to do that for you. So just be very, very careful if you're ever clearing local storage or if you're ever updating, make sure that you take a backup of your notes at least weekly or monthly or something. It takes 2 seconds to back up because they're all just done as text files. And if you ever need to re-import them, at least you always have something to go back to. So just please be aware and make sure that you have something there. All right, that is OmniNotes from SEO Time Machines.